So my thermostat on my 240 took a shit. The thermostat is actually stuck open, which means it'll make it very hard for the coolant to warm up. So yeah, still got a K in here, but it makes for a great daily driver. So we gotta remove all this crap to get to a thermostat, which is somewhere down in there.
Aside from my soul,
We got a nice Nissan radiator on our stock KA. That's pretty cool. Good cooling is better than no cooling. Wait, why did you switch it out? Forget. Oh yeah. The stock radiator was cracked somewhere along here. It'll leak in coolant. So I said, fuck it. Let's get the nicest radiator you can get for the KA.
aside from my soul.
So we just had to take off a bunch of 10mm bolts to get off this panel to get to the drain, to the radiator drain. So you can take it off the radiator hose up top, so we can get the shroud out, which will give us access to the thermostat. So now that the radiator is empty, take off this hose. So you take this off. Finally got the damn shroud out, which proved to be a little more pain since we have this bigger radiator in there now. But it's out, and now we have access to the thermostat, which is right in there. That little fucker. I believe it was stuck open before during summer, but it didn't really matter then because I didn't need heat. But now that it's winter and the thermostat is stuck open, it's proving to be a little uncomfortable when the car doesn't get cold or when the car doesn't warm up. So it looks like you need to remove this belt, the water pump belt, so we have more access to the thermostat. Holy shit! Oops. I think that should be it. You think?
Yeah.
That should be enough access. Was that 10mm?
Yep, there's one bolt.
So it's one 10mm bolt and one more on the top. And your thermostat will be right behind there. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure the thermostat was stuck open when it was summer too, but it wasn't a big deal because I didn't need heat. But now that it's cold, kind of want heat. And there's your second bolt. So you're about to see that Nissan does not supply you with a gasket for the thermostat. What they say instead is to use RTB, which is like a silicone thing.
Oh, there's one more bolt.
Oh. Looks like there's 3 bolts. One way up top under the power steering. Remember when Hair Garage broke their thermostat housing? And then they, what they do? They JB welded their thermostat housing shut, so it will never come off again. I think that was on the thermometer. That was way back in the day. back in the prime air garage days. Alright, there's the third bolt. And it should be kind of stuck on there since you RTV'd it. Since Nissan doesn't provide a gasket for you.
Yeah, it's stuck.
It's not like they don't provide it, they don't make a gasket for this. They specifically said to use RTV silicone. Which is kind of shitty. Oh, I gotta bring out the big pry bar, huh? So you get the damn housing up. Big ass pry bar.
There's no spot to leverage it from. Here it comes.
Some movement. There's the bastard thermostat.
You gotta take off this belt too. There goes a sight from my soul.
Oh yeah.
That just missed the pan completely.
It seems like you really tried to put the pan in there. You kind of just kicked the pan during the car. Genuine Nissan thermostat. Always go OEM when you can. Don't buy that cheap O'Reilly's part for $5.
Because the O'Reilly's part don't have this jiggle pin, and that's important for bleeding the coolant. Hurry for jiggle pin.
Alright, now we're gonna clean off this old crap.
I think it's all angels just walk by. There goes a sight from my soul.
Got the housing all nice and clean, the surface is smooth to make sure that it will create a proper seal. Because you don't want to go back and do it again when you find a leak because your surfaces are not clean. And now you gotta do the same to the block. So we took off the fans so you get more access to the thermostat down there. Thermostat area. So you take off the fan. There's just 4 10mm bolts here. So one there, one there, one there. 10mm bolt, and the fan comes on. So that's how it looks like before. Now we use this drill with a wire brush attached to it. We're gonna clean it up.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight.
So there it is after cleaning it up. Make sure it looks something like this, or else you're gonna have leaks coming out. And you never get the, you'll never be able to bleed the coolant if it's leaking there. So make sure you take your time in doing this. So now that you have your surfaces all clean on the block and on the housing here, you're gonna apply the RTV around the block. RTV silicone. You can find this at the parts store.
There goes a sight from my soul.
So make sure the jiggle pin is on top. Should be nice and happy in there. And we're gonna go ahead and apply some RTV onto the housing too, just to make sure. We don't want this to leak, and you definitely don't want to take it apart again. Now you make sure all the bolts are good and tight, and there you go. New thermostat is in. The RTV does take an hour to dry or so, an hour or so to dry, so you don't want to add the coolant just yet. Okay, so we waited like an hour for the RTV to dry on the thermostat. Now we're just gonna put everything back together.
Goes aside from my soul. There goes aside, there goes aside. Now there goes aside from my soul. There goes aside from my soul.
So we got everything put back together. Only thing left to do now is to add coolant and then bleed it. We got this special little funnel thing which will bleed the coolant. It'll get all the air out and you don't have any bubbles in the system. If you have bubbles in your system, that means you can potentially cause the car to overheat, because a bubble in the system is not gonna cool down your engine. And all you do now is just start up the car and let it warm up. So when you're bleeding your coolant, you want your heat all the way to hot, obviously, and it doesn't really matter which setting you have it on. So with the coolant funnel, this is supposed to get all the air out of your cooling system. If it's still bubbling up after like a long time, you probably have a coolant leak somewhere, or worse, your head gasket could be bad. But after like 30 minutes or so, it shouldn't bubble up anymore. As you can see, my temp gauge is now in the middle. Before, it would take forever for my car to warm up, and I could drive it for like half an hour and the temp gauge would still be down. And it's only been a few minutes since I started the car. Now yeah, gauge is already up. That's good, and I can feel the heat working already, which is pretty important for when you're driving this car in the winter. So I had the car run for about 20 minutes now. It doesn't look like there's any more air coming out, so we're probably good. So with a thermostat stuck open like what I had, the coolant will be continually flowing through the car, through the radiator, so it'll be hard for the coolant to warm up. This wasn't a problem for me in the summer because I didn't need heat, but now that it's cold, we want the thermostat to work properly. So the thermostat should be closed at first, so the coolant can warm up. And then at a certain temperature, the thermostat will open, and then the coolant will flow through your radiator. Now that you replace your thermostat, you can put your turbo on.